we're unpacking the psychology of earning and losing social respect. And what's truly fascinating here is that respect is rarely lost in some massive dramatic explosion. Instead, it fades completely silently, slipping away through our daily, seemingly harmless behaviors.
Now, right off the bat, we need to get one thing straight. Being popular is absolutely not the same thing as earning respect. A lot of us kind of assume that if people look down on us, it must be because of, I don't know, our appearance, our bank account, or our job title. But psychology tells a very different story. It's actually your behavior that slowly, quietly erodes respect, often long before anyone ever utters a single word to your face.
So, this brings us to a really crucial question we need to ask ourselves. Why do we lose respect without even noticing? Well, it happens because these respect killers act as giant blind spots. Nobody taps you on the shoulder to say they're losing respect for you, right? It happens silently, right there in the quiet moments of your everyday interactions.
To figure this all out, here's our roadmap for the explainer. First, we'll categorize 7 highly destructive behaviors into 3 main traps: the ego, energy drainers, and poor boundaries. Then, we'll look at the visibility paradox, and finally wrap up with exactly how you can earn that respect back. Let's dive in. Kicking things off with trap 1, the ego. We're talking about overconfidence and arrogance here. The first incredibly destructive behavior is the know-it-all mindset. One of the absolute quickest ways to lose credibility is acting like there is simply nothing left for you to learn. The exact moment your curiosity disappears, people stop seeing you as wise. This is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's when confidence rises way beyond actual ability. Think of that one colleague who confidently talks over experts in a meeting. People don't see brilliance there. They just see someone who talks way more than they actually understand. But honestly, the biggest respect killer isn't always loud pride. Often, it's the quiet version. Think about the habit of turning every single conversation back to yourself, or doling out advice simply to impress people. Sure, people might nod politely, but mentally, they have totally tuned out. Psychology links this to social dominance behavior, which is basically where deep insecurity hides behind a mask of superiority.
Moving right along to trap 2, energy drainers. This one focuses on negativity and victimhood. So, the habit of complaining. It is incredibly destructive. If every conversation you have inevitably turns negative, people just stop feeling comfortable around you. People sometimes try to excuse this as just being honest or venting, but actually, scratch that, it's not honesty. It's emotional pollution. It literally drains the room's energy and directly results in a massive loss of influence. And hey, there's actual hard science backing this up. It's called emotional contagion. This is a psychological phenomenon showing that negative emotions spread much faster than positive ones. It explains exactly why chronic complainers don't just lose respect, they actively drag down the whole room. When you bring that emotional pollution, you're essentially infecting everyone else's mindset. Then we have the victim mentality. We've all met someone whose ultimate catchphrase is, "Nothing ever goes my way," right? Constant self-pity destroys respect incredibly fast. Psychology shows we naturally admire people who take ownership. If you always present yourself as totally powerless, others will slowly pull away. And here's the crucial takeaway. They aren't pulling away because they lack compassion. They pull away because dealing with constant helplessness is just emotionally exhausting. All right, that brings us to trap 3, poor boundaries. This is all about people-pleasing and deflection. It is a huge misconception that being endlessly accommodating automatically makes you respected. While pure kindness earns affection, it's your strong character that earns respect. The approval-seeking habit, trying too hard to make everyone like you, always agreeing, never saying no, it actively tells people your limits can be ignored. Respect begins with respecting yourself. Psychology suggests we trust people who confidently set boundaries, simply because it reflects immense inner strength. Another massive boundary issue? Avoiding responsibility. If your family, your manager, or the economy is always to blame for your situation, respect disappears fast. Just imagine someone who constantly blames their boss for missing a deadline, instead of, actually finding a solution. This is driven by an external locus of control, the belief that life controls you instead of the other way around. Taking ownership is a profound sign of quiet confidence. People absolutely admire those who step up and say, "This is on me, I'll fix it," instead of dodging accountability. Next up, we have the visibility paradox, basically hiding your effort. You might be grinding away, working incredibly hard, staying highly disciplined, and just expecting others to eventually recognize it on their own. But here's the harsh truth. Most won't. Respect is not built through silent struggle. A lot of times we do this out of a false sense of humility. If you're constantly hiding your dedication just to avoid looking like you're showing off, you're accidentally hiding the exact qualities that people could genuinely admire you for. It's like the silent worker who grinds away in the background and then wonders why they were passed over for a well-deserved promotion. So, how do we actually fix this? Let's talk about how to earn respect by looking at the psychology of character.
Earning respect really comes down to a few highly actionable steps. First, speak with confidence. You have to trust your own voice and the value of your ideas. Second, keep your standards high, both through yourself and how you allow others to treat you. Third, lead through your actions rather than just your words, because people watch what you do way more than they listen to what you say. And finally, stop chasing validation. Respect is never demanded, and it isn't something people just hand over to you. It's something your consistent actions actively teach them. A really powerful thought from our source material hits the nail on the head here. Respect isn't earned by talking the most. It's earned by knowing when silence has more value. The moment you stop chasing validation and start living by strong values, you're going to notice a massive shift. You won't have to ask for respect anymore. Because you're acting with quiet confidence and taking real ownership, it's going to come to you naturally. Which brings us to our final provocative thought for today. I really want you to ask yourself, are your actions chasing validation, or are they teaching people to respect you? Take a good look at your daily interactions today. Are you falling into the traps of the ego, draining the room's energy, or maybe failing to set strong boundaries? If you're ready to strengthen your mindset one lesson at a time, make sure you subscribe, because this explainer is about so much more than just psychology. It's about empowering you to master how you move through the world. Thanks for learning with me, and I will catch you on the next one.